For those that want to be like Cam Wolfe, for those that see you on TV doing what you do, what advice would you have for those aspiring to get into a position that you've gotten yourself into?
Yeah, great question. It's probably the most common question I get from young people, right? I always tell people like my path is not going to be your path. Like I can tell you exactly step by step what I did to get to Denver Post, to get to ESPN, to get to NFL Network now. And you could do exactly those paths, and it may not work the same way for you. It may take longer. It may not happen at all. But the biggest thing that I think I can tell you is this industry, especially now, is is hungry for people who want to do the job right, and it also gives people an opportunity earlier than maybe in previous times. There used to be a very much wait your turn period in journalism where you had to have 10 years, 15, 20 years of experience to do a particular job. Now companies are realizing that you need younger voices earlier. And so be aggressive. I think you use your social media platforms as your resume, and that could be a very good start for people who are wondering, hey, I'm in high school covering volleyball. How can I get there? Like, look at it as a very linear perspective. Somebody's always watching you. And it's particularly when you think no one else is watching. And I always tell people this: look, I've never, since I got my first job, I haven't applied for a single job that I've got. Every other job I've got has been through somebody recommended me or somebody saw my work and saw my potential. And so people are watching, and you need to build those relationships with that in mind. And one other nugget, and I say this because it frustrates me as young people, what young people do. When you meet someone that you respect, that you want to um, emulate, like if it's me or Ben or whoever it is, build like meaningful relationships and follow up on them. A lot of times I meet with people at colleges or high schools, and everybody is so excited to meet me, and they talk to me, and they want to know this and that, and I give them my contact information. Like, I am not shy. If I believe that you can grow, I will give you out my email, my cell phone. And I tell you what, 95% of the time I never hear from those people again. And it's like, I'm not
Facts.
gonna reach
Yeah.
out to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to help you. I want to, but I don't need to. And so that's one thing. I like, be very intentional with relationships, and let me tell you that you're bothering me. Like, don't say, I emailed him, he didn't respond, so I don't want to email again because I'm bothering him. I'm busy, I have a busy life. But if you shoot me a second email, you shoot me a third email, I'm gonna get back with you. And so be very intentional with whatever relationships you're seeking out, and find your personal voice. Like, I had to find that. I'm still ongoing to being authentically me. But I remember, and I'll leave you with this last story, because this can maybe help some people as they go about their journey. You mentioned Denver Post. That was an internship I did when I first got into this thing, part of Sports Journalism Institute, which was a really great program. I'd advise any minorities or women in the newsroom to look it up and apply for it, especially those in your junior or senior year of college. But the reason I mentioned that organization is because they got me into the Denver Post, and I ended up doing the Denver Post job. I ended up getting hired there for my first job out of that internship out of college, being the third Broncos beat reporter. And I was on the job for about a month, 6 weeks. And I remember getting a call from one of my mentors who essentially like asked me about a story I was writing. He said, "Why are you writing like that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I'm just trying to show I belong. And he was like, if they wanted to hire a 50-year-old white dude to do your job, they would have done that. Be you. Find your voice. Find how you write. And I don't say that because of race or anything. I say it because a lot of times we look at around and who is in the industry, and we try to say, hey, I got to do it like him. I got to do it like that person. And you change who you are, and that robs you of what your uniqueness is, what you can bring to an audience, what you can bring as a storyteller. So there's something you can get from, hey, I will learn from this person, I will get tidbits, but don't try to become that person. I made that mistake early, I quickly corrected it, and since then I've tried to be truly, authentically me.